Protests continue across North America following Monday's grand jury decision in Ferguson, Missouri. National Guard reinforcements appear to have prevented a repeat night of chaos in Ferguson. There was arson and looting on Monday night after a grand jury decided not to charge the white police officer who killed Michael Brown last summer. But while the demonstrators returned last night, so did hundreds of additional troops and much less destruction. Officers still used some tear gas, a police car was torched, and officers made 44 arrests.
I think we're all here as the people to protect ourselves, protect our laws, figure out what the solution to this matter is, and to stand up for Michael Brown and his family. You know, we are all a family, and we just want unity. We want peace more than anything.
We came out and worked in partnership. You know, a lot of the protesters that came out for peaceful protests actually were assisting us tonight.
Meantime, the police officer who killed the unarmed teenager has sat down for his first interview since the shooting back in August.
I had reached out my window with my right hand to grab onto his forearm because I was going to try and move him back and get out of the car to where I'm no longer trapped. And when I felt it, I just felt the immense power that he had. I mean, the way I've described it is it was like a 5-year-old holding on to Hulk Hogan. That's just how big this man was.
In other news this morning, RCMP and Surrey are on the case after reports of a stabbing in Newton overnight. Police received a 911 call just before 2 o'clock this morning about a man badly bleeding from the neck while getting into a taxi on 121A Street near 68th Avenue. By the time officers got there, the victim had walked away from the cab, but they caught up to him a short time later. As of now, he's not fully cooperating with investigators, but is expected to recover from his injuries. Anyone with information is asked to contact police. Another reminder for drivers to slow down and for pedestrians to make a better effort to be seen during these wet, rainy nights. Bad weather contributed to at least a dozen pedestrian-related crashes right across Metro Vancouver last night. This is the aftermath of a person being struck by a bus on the Burnaby side of Boundary and Lougheed. Meantime, emergency crews attended a similar scene in Vancouver. A person was hit by a car at Cambie Street and West King Edward Avenue last night. No word on the victim's conditions. Police are looking into a possible homicide in Langley. A body was found yesterday afternoon off Highway 1 near 64th Avenue and 248th Street. Langley RCMP initially handled the discovery before calling in the Integrated Homicide Investigation Team. Beyond that, details have been pretty hard to come by. The search is on for a suspect in a sex assault in Abbotsford. A woman was walking last Thursday night when she was dragged into Mill Lake Park. The man hit and groped her before she was able to run off. The suspect is white, in his 30s, 5'9", likely with short, dark hair. He was wearing dark track pants, white sneakers, and a dark hoodie with a circular design on the front. A bus driver faces an assault charge after an incident in Burnaby yesterday morning. The 97B line bus started to leave Lougheed Station at full capacity. A young man, unable to board, allegedly kicked and smashed the bus with a skateboard. The driver is accused of pulling over and assaulting him. RCMP arrested the driver on scene while transit police investigate the passenger for mischief. Demonstrations continue on Burnaby Mountain as Kinder Morgan continues its drilling work, and so far the company is encouraged by what it's found. Greg Harper is live in Burnaby this morning with more. Greg.
Good morning, Kyle. There are a few protesters here this morning. They continue to camp out, and Kinder Morgan continues to do its survey work. That's happening just behind us here. The drilling began here late last week, and the energy company has showed off some of the rock that has been taken from 2 boreholes on the mountain. The sample's about the width of a hockey puck, and according to Kinder Morgan, they indicate the ground is strong enough to handle a pipeline. The energy company has drilled for samples about 150 meters into the mountain, and the company wants to go about another 30 meters deeper. Kinder Morgan is looking to expand its Trans Mountain pipeline, which would triple the amount of oil coming from Alberta to here in BC.
From a technical perspective, yes, we're happy to see it. We've actually been able to get the core back. We've got good data. We've got, as I mentioned, good integrity of the material. And so therefore, we are confident that this is allowing us to say that there is a feasible route alignment.
So this survey work is expected to continue for another a week or so, and the protests have been happening on a daily basis as well, but a lot quieter on that front so far this morning. Kyle?
All right, Greg Harper live in Burnaby this morning. Greg, thanks for that. Die-hard shoppers are gearing up for Black Friday bargains. The annual shopping frenzy kicks off tomorrow night, but are the deals really worth all the trouble? Angry mobs, fistfights, and even the occasional shooting have come to symbolize Black Friday. Professor Jo Andrea Hogue with UBC Sauder School of Business says it can be worth it if you plan ahead, but there aren't as many deals as you may think.
In some sense, Black Friday is all it's cracked up to be. There are a number of deals to be had if consumers are smart, pay attention, look at the prices, and go into the stores with a plan that they're going to buy things that they know are a really good deal. They've looked at the price regularly, they're looking at the price now, and realizing that they aren't getting a great deal. There are deals to be had.
Sports at 6:06. It was a night to say hello to a former Canuck while saying goodbye to another.
Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside.
In a nod to Pat Quinn's Irish heritage, a performance of Danny Boy marked his passing. A former Canucks player, coach, president, and general manager, Quinn died on Sunday at the age of 71. Now, when the puck dropped, Vancouver faced New Jersey and goalie Corey Schneider. Canucks tested their former teammate who stopped 34 shots. Alex Burrows and Sean Matthias were able to get a couple past Schneids as the Canucks beat the Devils 2-0. Vancouver now prepares for a 7-game road trip starting in Columbus on Friday.
The mentality has to be you're going to hang in there and just do your job, and your job doesn't change whether it's one shot early on or if it's many more shots. Sometimes it's easier to get into a game, get in the rhythm, but every game has a unique personality, and you just have to find a way to play in that game.
Many Canadians enjoy their daily commute, and they say they find it relaxing. What? That's the surprising result of a new survey from a Toronto ad agency. The online survey questioned 1,500 people right across the country. 3/4 of commuters report being in a better mood after their daily trip, saying it gives them a chance to relax and rest. Transit users face a more difficult time, but say they still use that time to rest and relax. Vancouver, by the way, ranked the worst city in Canada for gridlock, according to a study that was released earlier this year. The average commuter here in Vancouver experienced 87 hours of delay time per year based on a 30-minute daily commute.